I waited for 3 days. After 3 days, I was worried. I went into the forest in search of my master. He came. He said, I am very hungry. Then I had just cooked the food. I had offered him very hot. He asked me, how do you know that I am going to come? You have made very hot food. I told him, every half an hour I will keep cooking food, new food. Because I know my master said he will come in 2 minutes. He may come any point of time. I can't keep stale food. And when my master comes, I cannot tell him that I will cook. Now you wait for half an hour and then have your food. I can't say that. So every half an hour I was going on cooking food. And when I will wait for another half an hour, one set will be cooked. The other set I will wait and immediately I will put it off for the animals, for the birds. I was going on doing it continuously all the 3 days, 24 hours. I was going on cooking. Why I should have that? Because I loved my master. When he comes, I don't want to give him stale food. I don't want to give him old food. That is the care. When you love the master, you do anything for the master. Then subsequently, prostration stopped, hugging started. He used to hug me, I used to hug him. He will tightly hug me. He won't leave me for something. We came to that stage. In the last stages, I used to carry the master on my shoulder. He used to sit, he used to catch my head and sit. And I used to carry him in the forest from place to place. Anything you can do, everything you can do, provided you have unconditional love for the master. What it is, I cannot define. I can't say only this is service. Anything is service. What all you do is service. And beyond the expectation of the master, you will not allow the master to expect at all. You know what he needs at what point of time, and you will provide it the way it is to be served at that point of time. When you reach that stage, you almost know what your master is. To that extent, the service will be there, the seva will be there. Ishvaro Guru Atmetihi. Ishvara cannot be visualized by the eyes. Atma cannot be visualized by the eyes. Ishvaro Guru Atmetihi. Ishvara and Atma cannot be visualized, but they are in the form of Guru. So if you worship the Guru himself, it is Sakshat the Ishvara and the Atman itself. That is what your Shastras say. So can you love the master to that extent? Anything. There is nothing like good, bad, right, wrong. Can you love him to that extent? You are amorously in love with him. The way you will love Aishwarya Roy. The way you will love Salman Khan. Can you love beyond? Can you have all that feeling for your master? Deep down you have got that love and that feeling. You must be filled with that love, and that love will precipitate into something called selfless service for the master. Total dedication with one's own self in dedicating towards the master. When one goes to that extent, anything and everything you do will be in the form of service. And Sakshat, you will be able to see the Lord, the Master, the Dakshina Murti. Kurave sarvalokanam vishaje bhavaroginam nidaye sarvavidyanam Sri Dakshina Murtaye Namaha. Sakshat the Lord, Hayagriva, the Dakshina Murti, the Lord who dispels the fear. Who dispels the ignorance. You will see him. You will be able to see that Sakshat Dakshinamurti, that Lord, that Namah Shivaya, that concept, the Lord, through service. So there is nothing like this is what is service. This is what is service. In Sishyas there are 4 types of Sishyas. One is Uttamottama. Uttamottama. He is among the Uttamas, he is more Uttama. Morning 8 o'clock the master has to take bath, so take water, hot water, very exact. How much the master will take, you know. What is the heat, exact that amount water. Keep his clothing, keep whatever soap, shampoo, everything ready. Keep the floor clean, the bathroom clean for the master to use. Uttamottama. Uttama. Hey, it's already 8 o'clock, just keep some water. He keeps water. Uttama. Adhaman. Hey, keep water. That fellow will not keep. Adhaman. Adhamo Adhaman. He will keep water. Add some chili powder also in that. Like this fellow is eating my brain one day. Let him suffer. So in Sishyas also different types are there. The Uttamottaman type is the best type. He knows what the master needs and that is given at that particular point of time. The relationship between the master and the disciple is something like a family relationship. Just like the way you love your father, your mother, your brother, your sister, your wife, your husband, your lover. That is the kind of relationship. The relationship is so strong. You will not allow the master to ask for anything. It will be there. The highest form of relationship. You will never think about your things. You will only think about the master and nothing else. That's an aspect of service. Yes, next. Anything else? Yeah.
Talk about honesty yourself. Honesty to myself. Be honest.
To be honest to one's own self.
Yes.
What is honesty first? Is there anything like a system where you can say you are honest? What is honesty? What do your thinking you can say this is honesty? What is honesty? Yes? Fact. What is being honest to one's own self? Being true to one's own self. Fine. Now this is, you have opened a Pandora box. Now as I live this life, today I have come here, I am wearing a mask called Guru. I am not Sridhar who is talking. I am Guruji who is talking. As Sridhar, how I will talk. As a Guru, how I will talk. There must be a difference. Today morning, in fact, myself and Radhika we had a discussion on this. Everybody has got a lot of mask. When you go to office, you wear one mask. When you talk to your friend, you have a mask. When you go shopping, you have a mask. With the husband, you have a mask. With the wife, you have a mask. We have masked ourselves in different ways and we have forgotten what is our true self. I am lost somewhere. If I can find out my true self, I come to the starting point of our discussion. When I said what I want to express, the way I want to express, the way I think, the way I want to be as expressive as possible, whatever is there in my mind, the set of things as they are, without getting diluted, without pretensions. There is a lot of pretension, there is a lot of assumption and presumption based on which I am now talking. When I am talking, I am not talking without any presumption or assumption. When I talk without any presumption or assumption, I am very true and honest to myself, and I am expressing myself the way I have to express at this point of time, and probably that is being true to my own self, the way I have to be. Am I like that? At every point of time, are we like that? Are we truthful to our own self? And are we able to express things the way we want to express? The way it is, without cloning it, without pretending, just expressing it with the virginity of thought, the way it comes to my mind, without going into right and wrong, good and bad, correct and incorrect, imperfect and perfect, without dressing it, the thoughts as virgin as they are, as it comes to my mind, am I allowed to express? If I am allowed to express that way, I am very honest to myself. Most of the time we are dressed. You think it over. Because yes, today, tomorrow, I am now going to a temple. When I go to a temple, today evening, how I have to lecture. There is a module for that. I have to talk only about gods. I see God in everything. I cannot talk in a temple that I see God in everything. I have to talk, God is only here. He is Balaji, inside this only God is there. God is not there with you, God is not there with him, God is not there with her, God is only here. So I am dressing myself with a different opinion and thought in connection with the situation. I am bringing that particular thought, and I am hiding my genuine virgin thought of truth, and I am pretending to be something else. That is pretension. I am not honest to myself. It is easier to point out examples of being dishonest to myself than pointing out examples of being honest to myself. This is the beauty. How I am dishonest, if I tell you, you will know from that what is honesty. Because when you talk how not to be, then you will know how to be. Is it not? So there is a pretension. I am cloaking myself. I am cloaking with something. I am cloaking with a lot of goodness. You people think because I am a guru, I am a very good person, so I have to cloak myself. Now I have a cloak of goodness because I am Wolverine by nature, but showing a bovine face. Though I am Wolverine, I show a bovine. That is dishonesty. A wolf should be just a wolf. The wolf should not become a cow or a cattle or a sheep. The wolf is not supposed to become. A demon must be a demon. Then it is very, Ravana is very honest because he was a demon. He did not try to become Rama. The beauty of Ramayana is Rama was Rama, Ravana was Ravana. Unfortunately, today we are neither Rama nor Ravana. Dhobi ka kutta, na garka, na gatka. You are a mixture today. You are neither being honest by being a Rakshasa, nor you are honest by being a Devata, but you are having both. You have got something called mixed feelings. This mixed feelings is diluting the truth. And you are no longer a truthful person because you are not honest to yourself. You are masking, and we have got so many masks, and that mask itself we are wearing, and we are now thinking we are in the dream world, that we have become more a masked person and we have lost the original address at where we were dropped. Yes, next. Anything else? Yeah. Beg your pardon? Once again repeat.
How do you experience the reality and the unreal?
How do you experience reality and unreal? Yes, once again it's connected with the same thing, masking. First one needs to be true to themselves. You must be very honest to your feelings. That is possible provided you are fearless. Most of the time you are not honest to your feelings because there is an element of fear. Because already somebody has told you, you must be like this, then only you are good, otherwise you are not good. You must dress like this, then you are good. You must talk like this, then you are good. You must behave like this, then you are good. You must do service like this, then you are good. Already some thoughts have been put into your mind and you have been conditioned to live a life according to some documentation that has been made into your mind. The originality has been tampered. When originality has been tampered, it's difficult for reality to surface. To be original, one needs to be fearless. One has to be fearless at any cost to be original. If you want to be an original product, you must be fearless. Whatever you want to say, you must say. Whatever you want to express. It just comes to your mind. Why it comes to your mind, nobody knows. Why a particular thought should come to your mind and not to my mind, we do not know. That is the grace of Lord. He is gracing you with that thought. You are not the owner of those thoughts. You are not the owner of your feelings. You are not the owner of your action. It is the God. Can you be truthful to your thoughts? Can you be truthful to the reactions which may follow on account of your thoughts? Can you be truthful to the actions that may follow in response to your thoughts? No. You are bothered about consequences. You are bothered about what will happen. What will happen? That is why you get stressed. Suppose you want to do some job, you want to do it. How you should do it? You should do it with total dedication, not bothered about consequences, with the total dedication, with total effort. How it has to be done, it will be done. I will not be thinking about the future. I will not be thinking about the fruits of action. I will just act and I won't think about the fruits of action. When I do not think about the fruits of action and when I am just acting at that particular point of time, I give the best that is available inside me as the will of the Lord. Since I am not the doer, just I do it. I do not expect anything from it. I don't think about the fruits of action. So I am not futuristic. When I am not futuristic, I will be fearless. And when I am fearless, the originality comes out and there is no duplicacy. If you can be like that, then you will know the reality. Whether I can be like that. That is the problem. The problem is, as as I am performing it itself, I am thinking about the fruits of action. As I do something itself, what will be the consequence? Once the consequence comes into the mind, as I keep the consequence comes into the mind, the consequence may be this way, that doubt enters and fear starts gripping me and the action itself becomes inaction. Or the action itself is not performed the way it has to be performed because I have been thinking about fruits of action and not the action. If you do not think about the fruits of action, and if you can deliver what has to be delivered at that particular point of time, taking into account your true self with the aspect of non-doership, just it has to be done the way it has to be done, with complete cognizance to the subject, not thinking about fruits of action, then the reality surfaces. You will be in that moment to realize the reality, and you cannot realize the reality when you are in a future moment. Live the present. If you can live the present, if you can live with that thought, if you can live just this moment and now this moment, then you can realize the truth. Because truth is present, it is not past or it is not futuristic. Truth is only this moment. At any point of time when you do, you never think that you are the doer. The you are the doer thinking comes only in the past or in the future, but not at the point of doing. Hence you are not the doer. At the point of doing anything, you never think that you are doing it. Think about it. When you do something, at that particular point of time, does it come to you or to your mind that you are doing it? No. In the past, I have to do it, you will think. In the future, I have done it, you will think. But when you did, you never thought you are doing it. So when you think you are the doer, either it is in the past or the future and not in the present. As you do, it makes you to forget that you are the doer. So the present is more golden. So if you can concentrate on present, yes. Anything else? Yes.
Can you speak about living an independent life, like free of the external and free of the attachment and the circumstances around you? How do you live that?
Attachment starts when it starts attachment. We have to now grow to the roots of attachment. When does attachment really start? When you are in the cradle as a baby, the mother looks at you. Initially, when you are a baby, it's called mirroring technique. They call it as mirroring. The kid cannot understand anything. It will simply see the face of the mommy. The mom simply says, hi, titi. It feels very happy. It's called mirroring. It cannot understand anything else. There is no other language. It's called mirroring. The attachment starts when you are very young. First, initially in the womb itself, the attachment starts. The mother is very attached to the kid. Once the kid is born, yes, the mother feeds, breastfeeds. The attachment starts. The kid comes to know, yes, she is the provider, she is the caregiver. Attachment starts. Nowadays, mothers are very busy. After 3 months, they have to go to office. They cannot sit with the kid. You can see a lot of autistic kids nowadays because of all mothers going to office within 6 weeks and 8 weeks. That's what research says. First 1 year, if the kid is taken care of by the mother, the kid will not be autistic. That's what they say. But your problems, most of the time, economic problems, husband working, wife working, everything starts with attachment. You are on this earth because of attachment, gravity. Otherwise, you jump from here, you will go to moon. You don't need a rocket. Because of the gravity, the gravitational pull. What is that? It is attachment. The Mother Earth is drawing you back. You can't escape. Attachment is such a tough weapon. Yes, free of attachment, somebody will be talking. If you go to Nalendiran, he will say free of attachment. Because he has crossed all attachment. You have to live with attachments to cross attachment. There is no way to avoid attachment and cross. If you live with something, you can transcend it. By suppression something, you cannot transcend. Suppression is not transcendence. Somebody came to me and said, Guruji, I am smoking 5 packets of cigarettes. I want to drop it. I said, you have to increase it to 10 packets. Because I know somebody who went up to 10 packets and then left it. I don't think in 5 packets it's possible. Now he is on the way to 10 packets. So suppression is not transcendence. Don't do it. It is not transcendence. So by living with attachment, a stage comes. The attachment gets transformed into unconditional love. Then automatically attachment will drop. Whether you are attached or not, whether you are connected with me or not, always my love is there with you. Whether you come and see me, you don't see me, I don't see you, our love always exists. If I close my eyes, I can see you, I can visualize you. A stage comes where no longer the attachment is going to be bothered. But that doesn't mean that you will be like a log of wood. You will be full of love, unconditional love. There will be no conditionalities. There will be nothing. It will be totally unconditional. In that unconditional love blossoms a feeling of togetherness and consciousness. In attachment, there is always expectation. Initially, when couples love, they will be only attached. It will not be love. There will be a lot of expectation. He has to get sari, she has to do something, then they have to go to cinema, drama, all this. During the initial days, that is the days of attachment, she will dress up very beautifully, all that. After years of living, they will reach a stage, no longer dress is going to matter. No longer anything is going to matter, it's going to be pure love, it's going to be very unconditional love. No longer cinema is going to be there, no longer drama is going to be there. They are not bothered. Their own feelings of attachment would have dropped, but the unconditional love will remain. When it is attachment, it is always conditional. But to reach that stage, one needs to be very conscious. One needs to grow in that consciousness. It's probably a sort of sadhana also. It does happen in some cases. It doesn't happen in many cases. They still live with attachment. I have seen very, very old people still living with attachment. I have seen very youngsters living with a lot of unconditional love. I have seen both the cases. Somebody was asking me, how is it? I said, this soul has already traveled the maximum. That soul has not traveled yet. Just because somebody is aged, it doesn't mean that they are elderly people. They are aged people. Elderly people are people who have lived with everything and reached a stage of unconditional love. And elderly people are fearless. They won't fear. They won't fear for anything. But nowadays you find all old people fearing. What is there? No. So, but everything begins with attachment. And it begins with, right from the womb it starts. The kid has to be attached to the parents. Otherwise, it gets attached to the peers. It gets attached to the friends. It lands with the wrong company. They go into various things. Because The parents are supposed to give attachment. The mother is supposed to give. She is not giving. She is busy with office. And parental stress is also responsible, is contributing for the kids, to the kids in a negative way. The parental stress is having an impact. So kids need to be loved and cared.